Hello, Abraxas here, and I'm going to be playing some Space Engine. So I'm over here at Saturn because I actually recorded a Beauty of Space Engine video, which I haven't done in a very long time, and it was actually very fun to record. As you can see, I have all the effects on for all the glamour footage. I have motion blur and all that fancy stuff, I guess. I don't really keep that off because when you actually start flying in this game, you get this going on. I'm not a big fan of this. It looks cool, it's like warp drive engaged, but it actually stops you from seeing a lot of objects because you're just flying by way too quickly and things are just blurring up as you fly by. So I don't really leave that effect off. So I want to go ahead and switch these effects off. I know a lot of people have been requesting that I change my lens flare and all that stuff, but really the reason why I have them set is just purely preference, to be honest. So there we go. This is how I prefer to play the game. Anyways, there's not too much to talk about this week. I did miss a day, I think. Yeah, I do believe I did miss a day. It's because I just don't really feel like recording. And yeah, I uploaded a lot of Astroneer. I guess I didn't miss a day if you count Astroneer, but I missed a day of uploading either Space Engine or Universe Sandbox 2. And I don't really like to do that, but I ended up just taking a break, taking a day off. But a really cool announcement this morning, AMD Ryzen was announced to have a release date on March 2nd. So I am really looking forward to that. I'm probably going to start selling off a bunch of shit right now. And I'm going to immediately jump on that bandwagon because I really want an 8-core CPU with 16 threads. Has a core performance of about Intel Broadwell, which is the odd child in between Haswell and Skylake, and then there's Kaby Lake, which is basically Skylake. Broadwell was essentially Haswell, but improved. Basically, iGPU improvements, 5% increments, all that kind of stuff. Nothing too special, but apparently Ryzen is actually performing to what they're saying. So I'm really excited about that. I might not be able to get a hold of one of these CPUs because they're probably going to sell out like crazy everywhere. So I'm considering pre-ordering one. I don't really want to pre-order one. I'd rather just get a hold of it and see benchmarks and stuff first. But yeah, kind of a hassle. What else do I really have to say? Yeah, I really want to get a hold of one of those CPUs. So I might end up like selling some stuff. I kind of want to sell my video card. I have some money put away right now. I might pick up a GTX 1070, which would be very cool. Very, very cool. That'd be awesome. Because right now I'm using a 970. I only have quote-unquote 3.5 gigabytes of VRAM. But, no, if I can get a hold of a 1070, 8 gigs of VRAM, I'd be able to record 4K footage all day. The encoder in that is twice as fast as the 900 series. It'd be great. For people who don't understand what I'm talking about, I'm just talking about computer components and stuff. I know not everyone there's too much about that, but I'm kind of nerding out right now because this is all very exciting for me. I've been a system builder for many, many years, and yeah, this is all just very cool news. Basically, right now I'm running an i5, which is just a simple quad core as well. i5 4690K. I don't know if the new Ryzen chips are all going to be overclockable. Hopefully they are. I don't think I've actually seen any news on that. But AMD just announced a new CPU that is 8 cores, 16 threads for $330. My current CPU is valued at, well, probably not going to be valued at for very long, $200. So that is awesome news. I might just like sell off my CPU and grab one of those real quick. But yeah, I'm very excited. That also means I'm going to have to swap out my motherboard and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, I can't wait to actually get a hold of one of those, or at least see some benchmarks on it. Because if it's actually a true 8-core, 16-thread CPU that's performing to what all these benchmarks and everything that's already released are showing, then for video rendering and multitasking, that would be a godsend for me. Because whenever I render a video, it takes about as long as the recording takes. Like if I record an hour-long video at 1080p 60 FPS, it takes about an hour to render a video that is 1080p 60 FPS if the video is an hour long. That's basically 1 for 1 for me with my i5 currently. I could have an i7, but you know, I considered getting an i7 and I was kind of like, just wait for Zen. Let's see what that does. So that's essentially what I did and what I'm still doing. So hopefully it is everything that they say it's going to be. So I think that is really all I have to... This galaxy uses Andromeda's texture. Hopefully that's, I think that's all that I really have to talk about. I'm considering possibly getting rid of my laptop and getting a better one of those, getting one with an actual quad core in it, because right now it's just a i5 dual core thing. The dual cores in them, not all that great. They're clocked pretty low. If it was a quad core with like 8 threads or something like that, or just a quad core in general, I'd actually be able to use my laptop for video rendering and recording and stuff like that, but in its current state, that's just not really feasible. So I would like to eventually upgrade my laptop, but I don't think I'm going to be doing that anytime soon. But that's just an idea. So, yeah. Without drawing on any longer on this, I just want to upgrade pretty much everything, make my video rendering experience a lot better. So let's go ahead and move on to some suggestions. So, yeah, basically last week I said that I would no longer be doing catalog suggestions. I kind of misspoke there. What I originally intended to mean was I'm fine with catalog suggestions. I would just prefer if people to put like a description on them, because what happens is people will leave me like cataloged ideas and stuff like that, things that are already in like the database. Like if I go over to wrong list. If I go over to the search feature here and just type in Kepler, I showed this off last week. If I were to just go to Kepler 100c or something like that, the odds are it's just gonna be exoplanet orbiting around their parent star very, very closely, because that's the only way we could actually tell. It would pass by the star, block out a little bit of light, we'd get a small flicker, Kepler would notice that, and that's essentially we discovered an exoplanet. Yeah, basically, I don't like doing these suggestions. I don't have any information on this planet. Is there anything significant about it or anything like that? I don't have any real details to go off of. So what I specifically asked more was that people give me descriptions and stuff on these kind of planets. That way, when I visit them, it's less awkward for me, and I can immediately be like, oh yeah, this planet, and blah blah blah, and talk about it a little bit better. But as it stands, I'll go to like a random galaxy or one of those Kepler planets or something like that. And not just Kepler, but any other telescope and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, I don't know. It's not really. It doesn't. I'm not gonna say it doesn't make for a good suggestion. It's just, it's really kind of a time waster for me. I would much rather be visiting like, you know, random planets that are absolutely beautiful and stuff. So, yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. The first suggestion is from Gabriel the Hun, and they say, it is a cool Terra moon with icy continents and very Mars-like sister moon. In the galactic cluster, this is filled with elliptical galaxies and a few spiral galaxies. The galaxy, this star system is E7. Okay, let's go ahead and pay a visit to it. If I can get it to copy paste, there we go. No question mark this time. Yay. Okay, so that's not very far away at all. Okay, so we do have an icy Terra here. This almost looks like a Titan, but it's not. It's got marine and terrestrial life. I assume the terrestrial life is this purple stuff right here at the beach. Let's go ahead and land next to it. That's a really cool detail with the snow there at the edges. That actually looks very nice. Really cool effect with the snow. It actually blends off into the terrain, like the dirt terrain, very nicely. Okay, so we have some like random rocks laying around. And it looks like we have a blend of that quote-unquote generic life texture and the grass texture kind of going on here with the darker purple. And over here with the lighter kind of pinkish purple, we just have grass. Pretty cool. The water itself looks kind of greenish. Let's actually check that out real quick. Oh, it's kind of doing that one effect. There's the edge of the water. No, that's actually blue water. Very, very dark blue water. It's just the green atmosphere makes it kind of shine green. So we are in an elliptical galaxy. There is a gas giant, so we are in fact on a moon. There's a really cool spiral galaxy that we're viewing from like a horizontal angle. Very awesome, and a bunch of elliptical galaxies there. In fact, I do believe I've actually been in this cluster before. I do believe I've had this cluster suggested to me. Not that I have a specific name for the cluster, but I recall seeing these sites before. This all seems very familiar, and I think that's the E7 right there. No, that's actually an E5. Are we in the E7? I think we're in the E7 galaxy. Let's zoom out and check that out. So I've had told to me that the E value, E0 through 7, is just purely how ellipsed it is, how much of a oval shape it is rather than a circle. Yeah, we're in the E7, so it's like a long line pretty much. And over there is an E5 apparently. Very cool. And a bunch of spiral galaxies. And it looks like we had a collision up here. Yeah, that looks like a collision between two galaxies up here. Pretty close. Probably just scraping each other. Probably going to fall into each other eventually. But very nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which I think again is from Rollahan. This is actually a suggestion from the last video. I asked him to repost this, so he's actually going to have more than 2 suggestions in this video. So let's go ahead and check this out. Ooh, what do we got going on here? We got an orange dwarf triple star system. So he has some details about this. It's a triple star system with 6 planets orbiting around the sea star. The second planet is in the habitable zone, and is theorized to be very Earth-like. However, it's tidally locked. It's a tidally locked cool desert in the game. Still a cool system to visit. By the way, you can hurry through the planets, and that's not a concern. Okay, let's go ahead and check it out. So the sea star apparently... Oh yeah, it does actually have a bunch of planets orbiting around it, and that is a really detailed desert with a really cool, like, vibrant orange tidally locked storm. Let's go ahead and hit play and just kind of watch this do its thing. It looks like only one cloud layer, which is actually kind of unusual for tidally locked planets. With these kind of planets, you'd get multiple cloud layers, so that's interesting. Let's go ahead and just touch down over here. Definitely a lot of volcanic activity. And the volcanoes always look cool at night when they're active. Really cool glowing effect. And we got a beautiful pink atmosphere actually. There's the parenting star. Very close. I can only assume, yeah, that's a red dwarf. And we got a bunch of jagged mountains over here. But a really beautiful view nonetheless. And of course sedimentary rock texture. Very nice. What is it? Is this actually snow? Okay, so there's snow on the daylight portion of the planet. Can't really explain that. But I guess it is relatively cool. It's actually negative 66 degrees Celsius on this planet. Very interesting. The 5th one, which is right here, yes, has the best looking texture that Gabriel has ever seen. Oh yeah, that actually does look kind of cool. I'm not too big of a fan of the color palette used here, but that's just personal preference. But supposedly, yeah, it's really detailed. I actually really like this. It's very awesome. Let's go ahead and fly down next to the cloud layer. Oh wow, look at that. A lot of depth in these clouds. I have to say, this is probably up there with like the most detailed cloud layer I've actually seen inside of a or on a gas giant before. This is incredibly like, which only expresses how turbulent this probably is. That's very cool looking. Of course, it's very buggy and you can kind of like see through to the other side and stuff, but this is very cool looking. I really like this. Not a big fan of the colors, but the clouds themselves look absolutely amazing. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from Astro Geek. And he says, can you visit random planet ID? It's in a triple star system, has life, tidally locked, and a moon has a moon double eclipsing it, please. Okay, so I assume the two stars are illuminating light on the moon, and it's casting possibly two different shadows, two different color shadows. That's always a cool effect when you have like two different color stars. Okay, so tidally locked planet with life. You can see a lot of the life texture right over there. And not quite two different color stars. But let's go ahead and make this actually eclipse if we can. Let's just hit play. Oh, reverse it. Slow down time. There we go. If you guys saw that, there was an eclipse over here and one right over here, right in the center of the storm right now. Of course, since we have the other stars actually illuminating, it didn't actually darken the world very much. I assume it'll get brighter if we fly away from the eclipse, which it certainly did. Now it's very bright. Very cool. Got this. Is this Hoag's object? Oh yeah, it is. Can only recognize this ring galaxy. And got yeah, it's a relatively cold planet. Well, not really. It's actually 27 degrees Celsius. But, as you can see, there's a huge polar cap. Oh, look at that. We kind of got like a river or a crack or something going through the terrain. Very nice. And you can see that half this planet is actually frozen. But what's cool is it's partially illuminated because there's actually multiple stars orbiting around each other. So that is pretty nice. I assume at different portions of the year, since it seems like we're orbiting around this star, we could probably get it to illuminate the other side using these two stars over here. So let's go ahead and just experiment with that. Oh yeah, if you guys saw that. Look at that. We got it illuminated on this side because of those two stars. Very cool. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from the Astrobiologist Gamer. Let's go ahead and copy this ID. Could you go to random planet? It's a warm Terra with a colossal moon. It's a moon, not a binary planet. I checked, and the orbits between the red dwarf and the orange dwarf, which can cause and orbits between a red dwarf and orange dwarf, which can cause both sides of the planet to be illuminated different colors at the same time. Oh, okay, so it's not the same situation we got going on right here. That's probably not a tidally locked planet. Let's go ahead and check it out. And here we go. I think we just landed in the Milky Way galaxy. For sure we did. Okay, so it looks like we have a white star. Oh, yellow star. Somewhere off in that direction. Oh, is that it? Oh, we got a white star. I guess it's just a very, very blue planet. That must be what's going on here. So it does have life, marine and terrestrial. Let's go ahead and check out the life on the planet, which would probably be these blue textures right here. And it certainly is. Looks like we have some treetops going on of some kind, like some type of roofed forest. And I don't even really know what that is. But there is one of the stars. I don't think we can see the other star from this angle. So let's go ahead and back out and go kind of where they're kind of both passing. There we go. Oh, hello. There's the giant moon. Oh, that moon is actually illuminating the side of the planet. Interesting. So not only, okay, so that's why that's such a weird color. We got the red star right there. We got the whitish star over there. And then we just have the moon kind of illuminating along with... No, that's not correct. Because that would be reflecting onto the moon. Never mind. So that's just where they blend, I guess. Interesting. If I touch down right here, I should be able to see both stars. There's the first star, the red one, and I can't see the white one at all. Huh, kind of difficult to actually get these in view. Is it behind the moon? No, it's over there. Oh, I see. The diffraction spike disappears completely, apparently. Yeah, there it is. Okay, that's what was going on. That's why I was so confused about that. But, very cool. And the moon itself looks like a desert of some kind. Yep, it's in fact a hot desert, while the planet itself is a warm Terra. Is that due to greenhouse gases? No, it doesn't appear so. Maybe tidal forces? Not too sure. But a really cool little system nonetheless. So let's go ahead and check out the next suggestion, which is from Sauce Gaming. And he says, it is a system with every type having organic life. So a system just full of life? Let's go ahead and check it out. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, no, you're just saying every type is organic life. That every planet that actually has life in this system. And that is the planet itself right there. Let's check out this gas giant. That actually looks kind of cool. Oh yeah, look at that. Beautiful looking gas giant. Thing is huge, and look at those giant rings on it. Awesome. It looks like we're in some type of irregular galaxy, which I don't think I've had a suggestion one of these before. Or not in one of these before, but I haven't had one in a while. Interesting. Looks like we're just in like some giant supernova. Very cool effect. I will say it's a first for me. I'm not lagging like crazy when I'm inside one of these galaxies, because normally I do. It's a pretty cool looking gas giant. You can see that there's a couple little asteroid moons just hanging out. There's one right there. We have two stars potentially illuminating it. That one right there, and the one I just lost, that was over there. There it is. Yep, that white star. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out another planet in this system. Desert. Okay, so it doesn't look like we're half frozen on this. Oh yeah, we certainly are. There's a huge ice cap over there. But as you can see, even in the night sky, it still looks very bright, illuminated, and just absolutely beautiful. Very cool. Let's go ahead and fly across over here. Very, very thin atmosphere, as you can tell. And there's the parenting star, making this terrain look very, very shiny. Probably because I'm still in the snow layer, though. Ah, yes, here we go. Now we're actually on the desert floor. Very cool. I love the way the atmosphere looks, especially in contrast with that irregular galaxy just kind of hanging out in the background there. That actually looks very beautiful. As you can see, my frame rate did actually drop right here. I mean, that right there, that is thumbnail potential if I ever heard. But let's go ahead and zoom out, click on this planet, and let's check out something that's actually orbiting around the other star, since it also has things with life. Here we go, a cold ice world with life. This is an ice world? Something seems off about this. It has a very, very thick atmosphere, it looks like. It's not be causing much of a greenhouse effect. Or is this actually the snow? No, this is the atmosphere. This is a cloud layer right here. So going through the first layer. Second layer. And here we are on the surface. So it has a super thick cloud layer going on. And the life is subglacial, so I can't actually view it, but that is not something I've actually seen before. An ice world with like kind of like a Venus-like atmosphere. That's very weird. The atmospheric pressure is only 3.29 though, so it's not like it's super thick. It's just got a lot of clouds on it. It's definitely unusual, and there's a moon, which looks like a desert. So cool desert moon. Kind of Mars-like. Very nice. Let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which once again is from Derpsauce Gaming. And he says it is a pretty Saturn Terra. So a Terra with rings. With life. Both of the suggestions are in a galactic collision between two irregular galaxies. Oh, okay, so this is kind of in the same system. I assume that's the other irregular galaxy that's potentially colliding with this one. Oh, some big pink rings? Didn't expect that, to be honest. And it's a Terra with life. I'm not seeing any water as of yet, so it's mostly landmass. In fact, I would say this has the potential to probably be a desert, not really a Terra. Yeah, I don't see any liquid oceans at all. I assume if I just turn up the ambient lighting, I might be able to find one on the dark side here, so let's go ahead and just do that real quick. Water right there. It's all hiding on the dark side. Oh, there's a crater right there. Okay, let's just default everything real quick. And it looks like it has green water. I don't think that's the atmosphere this time. So it's just smack into the ground right there. And yeah, it's definitely got some green water going on. Very cool looking. And there is those very large, beautiful rings just kinda, I would say. There's a moon over there, looks like an asteroid, and then we have another one. If I can spot that again. Ah, right there. Unless that is a star, that might be a star. No, that is certainly an asteroid. Oh, I thought that was actually inside the rings. No, apparently not. And over there, you can see there's actually a really cool kind of purple and gray galaxy just hanging out. Very nice. Let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from Jordan Taylor. See, he mentioned Kepler 78b, and he gave me a lot of details about it. I actually know about Kepler 78b. It's a really, really cool system, and I actually have a very, very long video on Kepler 78b. Let me just type this out. And let's go ahead and fly over to it. See, Kepler 78b is really cool. I'm not sure if this is the one that was did to be a diamond planet. I could be wrong about that. I think that was actually a different one. Might be a different one that was a diamond planet, quote unquote. But yeah, this planet's really cool because of its orbital period. As you can see there, it's 8 hours and 31 minutes. It's got a very, very quick orbital period. Of course, there's actually other planets that are much faster than this, but I actually made a video, an 8-hour long video of me just recording this planet in this game, just very, very slowly orbiting around the star. Why I did that, I don't know. I really don't know, but I don't know, it was a fun project, and I'll probably be doing something like that again in the future. I just like to do pointless stuff like that. I don't expect people to actually watch the full video or anything like that, but it's just kind of a cool thing to have on YouTube for whatever reason. But yeah, this is Kepler 78b, and let me just go ahead and read what he said about it. The most astounding fact about Kepler 78b is that it shouldn't even exist according to our current knowledge of planetary formation. It is extremely close to the star, 55,000 or 550,000 kilometers or miles, or 900,000 kilometers. No, that's wrong. Do you mean 5.5? No, you're correct about that. My bad. Okay, so as a comparison, Mercury only gets within 28.5 million miles of the nearest star. Basically, what he's saying is this planet should have burned away. In fact, I don't even think in the game, if I zoom out here, it doesn't even have a comet tail. You can see it is like it's vaporizing, but it doesn't have like a blue tail on it, so not sure. But it's definitely kind of burning away. Anyways, the planet itself is only slightly larger than Earth, though the surface conditions are markedly different. Remarkably? No, I don't know. The temperature on the surface is estimated to be about 4,300 degrees Fahrenheit or 2,400 degrees Celsius, which is nearly 9 times as hot as the temperature of Venus. Unfortunately for Kepler 78b, it is likely that the star's gravitational pull will gradually bring it closer and totally consume in the next 3 billion years. So yeah, that is Kepler 78b. The only reason why I really visited or really wanted to do this suggestion is kind of because I had a really cool little interest in this planet for a little while. I don't think this is the diamond planet. I think the other video that I have that is like 2 hours and 30 minutes long is. But this is a really cool planet nonetheless. I looked it up before and I got information that this was the fastest orbiting planet, but it's actually not. And as you can see, it's molten. It's very, very hot, very inhospitable, and yeah, it's just really cool. Anyways, let's go ahead and just move on to the next suggestion, which is from Jordan Taylor once again. And he says it's a giant space pumpkin. Didn't I do a suggestion like this? I'm not too sure. Anyways, let's go to the space pumpkin. I assume it's gonna be a round star. Or like oval shaped star. Space pumpkin. What do I have enabled that's making the text actually show up? This. No? Oh, that was kind of cool though. Wait a minute. Oh, check that out. We could actually see the distance that things are. Oh, wow. How far we are from these objects. That's really cool. That is a setting I've actually never played with, but here we are on the giant space pumpkin. And look at this cool effect we got going on here. Just going through the waves of this star. This is very cool looking. Okay, let's go ahead and stop messing around with that. But yeah, an oval-shaped star. I think this is because of either the gravitational influence of another star tugging on it, or potentially this star is just circling around, rotating very quickly. But very cool. Okay, so Jordan Taylor responded himself saying, "Screw that space pumpkin, instead visit this planet and the galaxy." Okay, is this actually a galaxy? Yeah, this is a galaxy. You're telling me to visit a planet in a galaxy. I'm not gonna do that, sorry. I'm not gonna run around and try to find something. But it's at the edge of the universe. I've actually done a few suggestions like that. But because I would like to get through this quickly, let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from Aiden Star, the Warrior Cat. Can you visit a randomly generated planet? I think it might be a dual planetary system, or dwarf planetary system, because its diameter is 2,400 kilometers, and its moon diameter is 1070 kilometers, also in IC 1101. Let's go ahead and check it out. There's a very bright blue star over there. Blue supergiant. Let's check out this star real quick. Not much you can see here. It's too bright to actually make out any details. It's just a white circle. So let's go ahead and fly back over to the planet real quick. And we're back over here. Okay, so we got a very bright blue planet, but I can only assume it's very bright blue because of that monster over there. And look how dark in contrast these shadows look in comparison to the illuminated hills. That's the cool thing about Selena's, is kind of where they have their sunsets. It looks very detailed and just very awesome looking. When you actually look at the face of them, it's like, okay, it's kind of bland and boring, but it's really kind of drops off to nighttime on them. That looks very cool. You can see all the details and all the little craters and stuff. It just makes them look very awesome. So this is apparently a dual planetary system. Okay, so there's the other planet right there, which is incredibly bright. But we're also in IC 1101, which lacks a lot of detail, so there's not really many stars in the sky, even though there actually is a lot of stars. So it's two solenas just kind of orbiting around each other, and as it says, they are dwarf planets, and let's confirm whether or not this is just a moon of that dwarf planet, or if this is actually a dual system. And it appears to actually be a dual planetary system. As you can see, the apoapsis is not within the diameter or radius of the parent planet there, the larger one. So technically, it's a dual planetary system. Dual dwarf planetary system, I guess, but let's go ahead and turn these off. And because I already explained that IC 1101 is not very detailed, let me show you why. If you actually turn up the magnitude of the stars, I think this is for performance reasons with IC 1101. For some reason, the magnitude seems to be a lot less. If you just turn it up ever so slightly, you could actually see a lot of the stars that are actually in IC 1101. They're not so spaced out anymore. And that gives it a lot of detail and kind of gives you an idea of just how freaking big this galaxy is. It takes a while to actually fly towards the center. You just feel like you're not making much progress at all. I'll get to the center eventually. Of course, I could speed up, but I mean, I'm already moving incredibly fast. Speed it up a little bit. I'm getting there. It seems like I'm getting closer. That bright area is getting larger, it looks like. That would probably already be across the Milky Way by now. Probably twofold. Speed up a little bit more. And I think I'm actually starting to see the central cluster. Nope, I'm just flying past a bright star. Okay, the central cluster should be somewhere around here. As you can see, the star density has increased significantly as I got towards the center here. And is that the central cluster? No. I can't even locate the central cluster here. There it was. I saw that. I think that was it. Oh, there's a lot of them. What are you? You're a random star cluster. Ah, there's the center cluster right there. Whoop. There we go. Let's fly back to the center. And we're going to smack right into the black hole. So yeah, IC 1101 is a very, very, very big galaxy. Look at all these little star IDs that are popping up because of what's orbiting around this black hole. Very cool. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from Cube Mapping. Looks like they have two suggestions. This one is a temperate Terra with organic unicellular life. Paste that in. Okay, so it's a red color with a big tidally locked storm. It orbits an orange dwarf in a binary system. Oh, okay, so it's illuminated on both sides. That's pretty cool. Okay, so we got like orange lighting on this side and white lighting on that side. Cool. And this galaxy is... Jeez, whoa. I better correct my magnitude because that's going to be a problem. There we go. Much better. Got very dense with stars right there. Okay, so if we land over here, it does... Oh no, all the life is apparently marine life. That's interesting. So it must be a early planet. I think there's two cloud layers. That or this is just really, really bumpy. I think it's just really bumpy. So there's the parenting star. It's sitting at 0.29 astronomical units away. Its binary twin looks like it's 0.33 astronomical units away. And then we have that white star off on the other side, which is illuminating over here. And that is 7.32 astronomical units away. Very cool. I really like this feature that I can actually see like the distance on them. That's actually really cool. Tell me if you guys would prefer if I leave that on or not, because I think that is an awesome feature. So which galaxy is this? The Circinus or Circinus? I don't know how that's pronounced. Terrible at pronouncing things. But if I zoom out here, it kind of looks like Andromeda. The galactic texture actually used here. Oh yeah, it's using Andromeda's galaxy texture, I think. Interesting. But a very cool galaxy nonetheless, and it's very cool that the planet's actually in these blue bands, because that gives a really cool appearance to kind of show how blue the galaxy just really is. Center, you can't really see that nearly as much. It's like the Milky Way once you actually go to the center. But very cool. Apparently you can see a hot ice giant from its surface. Let's go ahead and go back to that planet and see if we can actually spot that hot gas giant. Okay, so if we just touch down over here, apparently we can see a gas giant from here. Is that it? That's not the gas giant. There's no way that's the gas giant. No, that's just a rock. There. That's something. That is a gas giant. What about this? Looks like some type of Selena. What about you? You're 0.17 astronomical units away. I think that might be the gas giant, which looks very cool viewed from this planet. Seeing the two different lights on it from the two different stars. Anyways, very nice. I don't think giants, I think that was actually the closest one, but pretty cool. Let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which once again is from Cube Mapping. Puts this in. A cool Terra with life. Okay, I am back. I had to get up and get a drink. Okay, so another temperate Terra with organic unicellular life. It has two huge ice caps and some visible impact craters. It is in a small elliptical galaxy with around 17 million stars. Okay, so that is actually very small. It orbits a red dwarf in a triple system of, it orbits a red dwarf in a triple system of a red dwarf, an orange dwarf, and a white main sequence star. So I'm not seeing any different lighting there. We got some whiter lighting there, we got some oranger lighting there, because there is the 2 stars, 3 stars actually, I think. No, just 2 stars in question right there, and there is the orange dwarf that we're orbiting around, red dwarf, so that's an orange dwarf right there, and that's a white main sequence star. We're in an elliptical galaxy. You can actually see the galactic center right there. Let's see if we can zoom in so much that we can actually view potentially the central black hole. Is that the central black hole? No, that's just a supergiant. The black hole's got to be one of these, right? There it is, right there. Let's get a good zoom into that and see if we can actually get the black hole to render. Nope, that is the farthest I can zoom, and it's not quite popping in. Well, it was worth a shot. Anyways, as you can see, we do actually have some very large dark rings. No actual color to them. I don't know if that's just because it's in contrast with the bright center of the galaxy, or if they're just black rings. Let's go and touch down where it's kind of snowy. Yeah, so this is kind of... And I don't know if there's actually any surface life on this planet, or if it's like subglacial. No, well, it's not going to be subglacial, but it might just be marine life. Go ahead and select this planet again. Yes, it's all marine life. Well, that's kind of unfortunate, so we can't actually see the life texture. Kind of got a cool view from over here. Actually see a lot of the stars kind of just orbiting around in the sky. And you got the peak of this active volcano we can just kind of sit on to get out of the atmosphere and actually see everything. So the atmosphere is not very high altitude, or this volcano is just incredibly tall. I think I'm gonna rule on the side of this volcano is probably just very, very tall. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is once again from Aiden Star, the Warrior Cat. And I don't know what's going on here, but I think my mouse batteries might be dying. Let's go ahead and paste this suggestion in. So it is a random star cluster, an orange giant. Okay. Oh, there we go. First crash of the day. Kind of waiting for that. Shocked it actually took that long. I mean, normally our magnitude would just kill it a lot faster. Oh, jeez. There we go. Yeah, normally the me just turning up the star magnitude would probably kill that a lot faster, but oh well. Okay, so all my video settings changed, but whatever, I'll just leave it like this for now. Okay, so let's see. It's a dwarf planet in the center of an irregular galaxy and orbits M81, which is Andromeda. Or Andromeda, I do believe. Possibly, maybe. Don't think so. What's M81 again? Let's see what M81 is. I think that might be Andromeda. No, that's not Andromeda. What is M81? Is that M81? Oh yeah, that is M81. Okay. M81 sounded familiar. I know it's like some kind of spiral galaxy. Let's go ahead and click back into that one planet we were just at. Okay, so it's a dwarf planet in the center of a regular galaxy. Now you've sent me to a star. I think you wanted me to go to this. Okay, so it's a Selena. There's not too much going on here other than it's just incredibly bright as well. Not too sure why it's so bright, but yeah, for some reason it's just like incredibly bright. I'm not sure why. But as you can see over here, we do have an Oceania, which kind of has a dark blue atmosphere, it looks like. Pretty cool. You can see the parenting star way over there. And of course, there's no terrain for us to actually land on over here. And I don't think I have... Yeah, I'm actually using a different mouse today. It's the same exact mouse as the other one I use. I actually have two of them. But, yeah, it's all configured differently, so I don't actually have my normal keybinds set. I'm kind of improvising this right now. So, I don't have like the button set on my mouse for me to just land, and I actually forgot what the keyboard control for that was, so well, that's unfortunate, I guess. Might have just been double tap. Yeah, it might have been just control double tap G. Does that actually make you land? Oh yeah, it does. Okay, so that's what I was thinking of. So we have a scorched desert over here, and I don't see too much else really to view in the system. We got a kind of Venusian-like planet here. We got a hot gas giant with some very large rings. But let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from the Interstellar Storm. Actually has two suggestions. Didn't they already suggest earlier in this video? I think so. No, maybe not. Just recalling their name, because they do actually suggest every video, which is pretty cool. Okay, so am I still drifting along? Let's fix that. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the suggestion. Paste this in. Let's see. A planet with rainbow rings. No further details other than that. It's got marine and terrestrial life. Those are so much rainbow rings. It's more just kind of a pinkish color. But the planet itself looks pretty cool. I like the vibrant green going on here, kind of a bluish shade to it. Probably due to the atmosphere more than anything. Probably a vibrant green with a blue atmosphere. Let's go ahead and touch down and check it out. Kind of liking the winded sand detail going on here. It gives the terrain just a little bit more detail. And it has the generic life texture, which I think I'm determining is probably moss. I think that is just moss. I'm pretty sure that might just be some moss. Oh wow, that looks incredibly bright. The effect we got going on here. Let's get that off the screen. Like, you can see the star there, it's pretty bright, but it's also making the atmosphere in this direction incredibly bright in comparison to like this direction. Very nice. Looks like we have one cloud layer, some beautiful eroded hills. Looks very, very natural. Everything just kind of has winded sand. The temperature on this planet is 23 degrees Celsius. Pretty cool. Let's go ahead and zoom out. Does this planet have any polar caps or anything like that? Actually, it does. What's the ESI on this planet? 93%. It's actually quite Earth-like. Very cool. That I'm seeing sedimentary rock texture up here in the snow like that. Okay. That motion blur effect, that's why I keep it off. It's just way too distracting. So there we go. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of leaving that on. Wow, that is a very bright and beautiful looking star cluster over there. Let's touch down right here at the sunset, just to see if we can actually view that. Oh yeah, look at that. That is very cool. And it looks like we're kind of sitting above a galaxy. Let's check our view here. Yeah, we certainly are. We're actually in a galactic collision. This is the same galactic collision in the last episode. Not too sure, but this is definitely a beautiful view. There we go. Now I'm actually moving. Very nice. Let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which once again is from the Interstellar Storm 4180. And they say this one is a Terra with life, and 1 purple and 2 pink rings. Go ahead and check it out. Maybe you might have got these descriptions backwards. Oh, that definitely has a purple and pink rings. Interesting. I see a 4th band in there though. A small little dim one. Same galactic collision, except we're actually sitting in a star cluster. I don't know if that's the star cluster I was just looking at. Probably, actually. It's another Terra with multicellular marine and terrestrial life. Let's go ahead and touch down where the terrain is kind of clipping through the cloud layer a little bit. So once again, we have some lovely eroded hills. Looks very natural. The clouds are not looking as natural, but that's because they're not really volumetric. They're just kind of a 3D model, kind of rotating with the planet. So it looks like there's just a lot of water that just ran off here. Like this was once a waterfall of some kind or something, but not really. And I really love the way these hills are actually plateauing off. It's very cool looking. I love the wavy clouds. This actually makes for a very beautiful view right here. Just back up right here a little bit. That is a pretty awesome view, and possibly has thumbnail potential. I don't even really know if the music is actually recording all that well. I know I'm definitely peaking a lot higher than the music, so maybe I do have it a little bit too quiet in this recording. Not too sure. I'll definitely find out when I'm editing it, and can't really do anything about it though, because I record both my voice and the music at the same time. But very beautiful planet nonetheless. I think I'll leave the lens flare on, but I don't think I'm going to bother with the motion blur. I'm not a big fan of the motion blur. Got this awesome looking Selena right here with this planet reflecting on it. Of course, we're getting a lot of performance issues because we're actually, well, sitting in a star cluster with two galaxies colliding. And we're between two planets, so it's a lot for my computer to actually handle, so I'm going to go ahead and back out of here before the game crashes. And let's move on to the next suggestion, which is from the X. So let's go ahead and paste this in. You know, honestly, this has thumbnail potential right here too. This is actually a very beautiful view. Okay, so is this what I just pasted in? Yes, it is. Okay, so definitely another galactic collision going on here. Looks like we have a binary system of 2 Terras, I would guess, hanging out with their parent star off in this direction, which looks like some type of white or yellow star. Yellow dwarf. Kind of like our sun. And it says it has 2 planets with life. My guess is that would be these 2 planets right here. Okay, so we do have some impact craters. We do have green life. Let's go ahead and touch down next to these hills. And this volcano here. Slow down a little bit. We got this nice blue, very vibrant blue atmosphere. We got some rounded rocks on the ground. Active volcano with some type of life right there. Let's go ahead and touch down kind of in this little valley here. Can't really tell what's going on here. It looks like grass texture and something else. But once again, we got some beautiful eroded hills. Looks very natural. Very nice looking. Let's go ahead and keep flying around and see what else we could possibly see here. I wonder if this actually has some polar caps, because it is actually sitting at a temperature of -11 degrees Celsius. A very cold planet. Go ahead and zoom out here, and it does look like we have some polar caps right next to these beautiful auroras. Let's go ahead and touch down right over here. Okay. Oh yeah, you can kind of see the auroras in the kind of setting sky. It's mainly because I do actually have the auroras turned up, which I was asked, how do you turn this up? It's very simple. You just go to the settings over here, and then you have the aurora brightness, and that's how you turn it up. I keep mine boosted up about 5 points. Mainly because I just like seeing them. Not because it's accurate at all, but because I think it's just very cool to be able to see the auroras and where they're positioned. Full sight for sure. Okay, so this other one, which I guess you could say is either a planet or a moon. I'm not really too sure. I think it might just be classified as a moon. Let's go ahead and click on it real quick. Yes, it counts as a moon, but I think it's actually a dual planetary system. Well, then again, that planet is actually quite a bit smaller than that one. No, that is actually a moon. Okay. Let's go ahead and turn the orbit map off. As you were able to see for this moment I was actually touched down on this planet, it actually has a lovely kind of pinkish purple atmosphere, giving a very different appearance than the other one. But imagine if this was kind of like our little planet system, like if we had our planet, which was our blue and green Terra, Earth, and then we had a moon that was like this. That would be very weird. Definitely a lot of movie potential there. But this is a very alien looking world. Now this one doesn't actually have life, so there's no actual life on this. And it looks like the atmospheric composition is carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide. The temperature is -10 degrees Celsius, so a little bit warmer, I think, than the other world. And yeah, it's just significantly smaller. The ESI is 84% though. The ESI on this one over here is 86%. Very cool. So let's go ahead and back out of here and move on to the next suggestion, which is from Diego Jose Abreu Molina. And let's see. I've got this nice Terra with a terrestrial and marine life. It's also tidally locked. It also has a pretty Earth-like sunset. So let's go ahead and paste in this ID. Alright, let's get rid of that extra space there. And here we go. Okay, so I am back. Let's see. Okay, so you can see the life already from here. Nice green life. And it looks like we're orbiting around some kind of yellow star. Let's go ahead and click on that. Yeah, it's a yellow dwarf. And let's go ahead and just touch down, jump right into this planet. So we got some very contrast, kind of granite-looking hills, which I think are very cool looking, especially when they're eroded with this green terrain. It kind of reminds me of kind of the Rocky Mountains in the United States. Very beautiful looking. Oh, but that's not actually I mean, that's the rock texture right there. Very coarse, sedimentary, and very cool looking. But no, it's actually a sandy planet. That's what's going on here. There's actually a lot of sand everywhere. Pretty cool. The temperature of this planet is actually 105 degrees Celsius, so it's actually a very, very, very warm planet. I imagine it'd be very scalding hot and humid. Interesting that the plant life is having no trouble actually surviving here, though. Guess that's just kind of an interesting adaptation, but you would think it would be just very sandy and dry. But it's not. It's very, very lush and green, shockingly. Interesting. As you can see, the atmosphere appears very thick. There's very, very, very low visibility. But pretty cool. Looks like we are in the Milky Way galaxy, if I were to guess. I think this is the Milky Way. Or in the Milky Way. Doesn't look like the volcanoes on here are active at all. Looks like they're pretty well capped off. But a very cool planet. And it's also tidally locked. Oh, okay, so that makes a little bit more sense that it's tidally locked. I would not expect this life to actually be on here otherwise. So the game will generate life all over the planet, regardless to how hot it is on one side and how cool it is on the other. All the life would mostly be kind of where the sun is setting, over here, around this general area. So that makes a lot more sense. Okay. Yeah, I was very confused about that. I was going to say 105 degrees. Why would that actually still have life on it? Life would actually be located more around here where the sun is set. Could only imagine that in these shadows it would actually be very, very cold. Pretty cool. Let's go ahead and move on to the suggestion, which once again is from Diego. And he says, this is another Terra with life, and it's also totally locked. This is a pretty cool find and has an amazing view of the galaxy, and the galaxy itself looks beautiful. Let's go ahead and copy this in. And let's just paste this. Oh, doesn't want to paste. Give me one moment. There we go. Let's get rid of that question mark. Okay, there we go. I noticed my videos have been popping a lot every time I make a P sound or whatever. So I'm going to probably adjust my microphone a little bit, make it a little bit further away from my mouth, so I don't breathe on it so much. And yeah, the reason why I had it bent that way is mostly because my old sound card, I was more used to having my microphone closer. I'm not used to the new gain on this one. So that's another benefit of having this sound card, which is a little bit more powerful. The quality might be around the same, and some people even said the other one was potentially better. I disagree with that, to be honest. But one thing that I've always done is I've always had the microphone close to my mouth because the other one was much quieter, so I had to talk closer to it. So hopefully, now that this one's a little bit further away, I could actually do that without making so much popping sounds. You'll find out later today once I actually record a Universe Sandbox 2 video. Even though I might even have that up before this one, but we'll see. So we're in a star cluster, giving us these very bright and beautiful stars even during the daytime. Very nice. Let's go ahead and fly up here. I don't think these volcanoes... Yeah, it's not an active volcano. You can see the parenting star there, which looks like some type of red or orange dwarf. And we have marine and terrestrial life. And this atmosphere is absolutely beautiful. I love this kind of vibrant blue we got going on. A little bit of green in the atmosphere, but it looks very nice. So let's see if we could actually view the life texture here, which is kind of purplish. Looks like it's kind of blending into these coarse rocks here. Let's see. Let's go ahead and fly around and see if we can find a patch of just light. Okay, so maybe over here would be a good place to actually view the life textures. Oh yes, we got like treetops, and then we have like the dry forest texture, but it's a different color, so it's not as distinguishable. Oh, that's actually very beautiful. I like the way this giant purple galaxy looks. That's pretty cool. Is this actually a collision? Did you mention it was a collision? I don't think so. I think it was just a beautiful angle of this really nice looking kind of ring galaxy we got going on here. What is this? NGC 1291. Let's go ahead and fly around and check this out. Okay, so it's not exactly a ring galaxy, but it looks beautiful nonetheless. Kind of has like a nice gold color in the center, and then we have like the purple on the outside. Looks very nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out the next suggestion, which is from Matthew Lee. And they suggest HIP 74 95-2 and the 5th planet from it. Let's go ahead and paste that in. Let's see. A cool ice giant with life. And it looks like, I think we're in the Milky Way galaxy. Yeah, we're in the Milky Way galaxy. There's Carina Nebula right there. Oh, that looks very cool. Check that out. Okay, so we have like a yellowish green going on here. I think that's more green. Lime green, possibly? We got these really cool green color. I don't think I've actually seen this color palette on a, That's actually pretty cool looking. Oh, and it has life too. Aerial life. Okay, so I'll just read the description that he posted for it. A frozen gas giant with aerial life, presumably with bacteria, and has a green tinge in some places. It also has a very detailed cloud layer. Let's go ahead and check out the cloud layer. I did notice that it was actually detailed when I flew close to it. And yeah, it's actually very detailed. I don't think it's quite as tall as the other one, but definitely very turbulent skies, and looks very cool. And as you can see, we got kind of a green glow going on, which is really awesome. And does that persist around the entire gas giant? It appears so. And here's the kind of under the cloud layer view, I guess. We can only go this low, but very nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from Blizzasta. Okay, so let's go ahead and paste this in. No, there's a space at the beginning. There we go. So it is a frozen gas giant. Oh. Is this a Planet Nemo? Oh, okay. So it is a frozen gas giant with a semi-major axis of 473.88 astronomical units. But its first 3 moons are still quite hot, probably due to tidal forces. Ah yes, I think that's exactly what's going on here. Very cool. Okay, so yeah, the reason for this is you notice they incrementally get hotter as they get closer to the gas giant. That is because they're too close to the gas giant. They're actually heating up due to tidal forces. Cool thing. You could actually see it with Planet Nemos too that don't even have a parent star. Apparently this does have a parent star. You can't even tell which one is the parent star from this far away. But very cool. If I could actually select them, they are way over there, those 2 stars. Pretty cool. Essentially why they are actually warmed up. If you were wondering, it's because of tidal forces. A very cool find nonetheless. So let's go ahead. Oh wait. One of them is actually a warm Terra with an ESI of 84%. Let's turn up the ambient lighting and look at this real quick. Oh, check that out. That is pretty cool. And the gas giant kind of reminds me of Neptune. Yeah, that is awesome. Okay. So that would be why it has an ESI of 84. Wow. The temperature of it's only 42 degrees Celsius, way hotter than our planet. But I mean, it's not like too incredibly hot. You know, on a universal scale, that's not very hot at all. That's kind of, yeah, that's actually very cool. And it actually does have like large oceans and stuff. Nothing's really frozen on this planet. No, this is actually a very awesome find. It's very cool that this actually has an ESI of like 84%. That's not like super high, but I mean that's a pretty high ESI. Very awesome. And it looks like the it has a moon over here that is also a gas giant. Cool. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, once again from Plazasta. And they ask me to visit... It's a beautiful tempered Terra with life, and as a bonus, it's in... Oh, I have to click read more to actually see the rest of this. It's in a 6-star system. Oh, okay, let's go ahead and check this out. Okay, I'm going to mispaste this. I need to add a 2 to the end. Whoops, messed up again. And keep messing up. There we go. And let's go. It's in the same galaxy, which is this beautiful blue galaxy. I don't know which galaxy this is, but very cool looking. So this is in a 6-star system. What is... Okay, so the water is green, it looks like. Let's go ahead and fix the ambient lighting. There we go. Okay, so this is a very cool looking planet. I think we have... Nope, those are actually snow caps. Thought that was active volcanoes. Nice eroded hills, beautiful green and blue atmosphere. Blue on the lower half, green on the upper atmosphere. Over here it looks like we have some type of asteroid or desert. No, that's a gas giant? Okay, so we must be on a moon of that gas giant right there. No, this is an independent planet. We're just orbiting very close to a gas giant. Well, that's pretty cool. And as you can see, there is snow caps all over. 6-star system. I see a lot of kind of red dots in the sky. There's 2 right there. Probably 2 over here. Yep, so that's 4. Where are the other 2? Let's see. Let's go ahead and zoom out and check out this star system and figure out what's going on. Okay, so there's 2. There's another 2. And there's the other 2. Much larger stars, I can only assume. No, they're actually red dwarfs. And that's another red dwarf. Okay. And it's the same system with the frozen gas giant. Very cool find. That's actually a pretty awesome looking system. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from David Leitner? I think Leitner. And let's go ahead and paste this in. Okay, there we go. So the ESI is 96.7, or not really. Yeah, actually 96.7%, as David says, and he says it's a moderate Terra with unicellular organic life. It is tidally large with an orange dwarf, and since it's on on the outskirts of the Milky Way, you get a pretty good view of the Magellanic Clouds. Let's go ahead and check this out. Okay, so there's the Milky Way down there, and the Magellanic Clouds are right there. Pretty cool. What is that? Oh, that's a gas giant with a ton of moons. Okay. That was a little bit confusing. Looks like we're in a proto-system as well. We got a lot of small asteroids kind of orbiting around the parenting star there. Very nice. It's very weird to actually see a proto-system orbiting above the Milky Way, because all the interstellar dust is down there. So, that's a little bit weird. Well, let's go ahead and touch down and check out the life textures. Okay, so we got some hills going on here. Nice erosion. Got some blue life, it looks like. Looks like the roofed forest texture. Oops, just smacked into the ground right there. That's fine, because that actually resets my velocity anyways. And we have some type of darker life over here. Looks like it's that weird clover plant thing going on. But it's blue, so looks very cool. Got an active volcano, looks like it's covered in ash and stuff. Very nice. And it's a slightly warmer than our planet. It's 22 degrees Celsius, which would be kind of detrimental to our planet, but it's also tidally locked, so all the life would actually be kind of in this region of the planet, as I explained earlier. And over here would be scorchingly hot, because that's always facing the star at all times. As you can see, there is in fact a huge ice cap. Half this planet is frozen. Very nice. Let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion. And that would be from Matthew Lee, but Gabriel has responded to it saying it's not working. So let's go ahead and give this a shot. Okay. Yeah, the ID doesn't work, unfortunately. So make sure that you are on the latest version of SpaceEngine 9.8.0 beta, or else the IDs will not persist across other versions of the game. On top of that, make sure you don't have any mods loaded, because if you actually have mods loaded, that will also cause issues sometimes with the general seed and how the planets actually generate. So the next suggestion comes from, let's see, Mathis? It's not Matthias, I don't think. And I can't even begin to pronounce that last name. Okay, so let's see. Then I'm going to make my first suggestion. It's located in a binary system. This planet, I apparently like this comment, or I gave it a heart or whatever. Okay, so it's located in a binary system. This planet has 3 cool things: rings visible from the ground during daytime, a good view of the galaxy at night, and life. But who cares? Life. Okay, let's go ahead and paste this in and see if this works. By the way, I wasn't mocking you, that's literally how you wrote the comment. Okay, so let's go ahead and fly in here. Okay, so I see the shadows of the rings. Where's the rings at? Ah, there they are. They're actually kind of a orange and pink color. There's a huge galaxy, ring galaxy of some kind. And we're sitting in a star cluster, it looks like, above this galaxy. Let's go ahead and touch down and see what we can actually see. Okay, so we have some green life going on here. Can't really tell. It looks like the roofed forest, but very well blended into the terrain. Let's go ahead and try to fly somewhere where we could actually see this a bit better. Nope, not really seeing it. Okay, let's go ahead and check out the sunset view, since that seems to be what we're here for. Let's just touch down right on these snow caps. See? Kind of faded into the sky there. What you're more seeing, though, is these stars, because we're actually in a globular cluster. They're incredibly close by stars, so they appear very bright, which is pretty cool. Sitting on top of the snow cap, we got these beautiful auroras we're passing by. And if we actually go to a lower altitude, we'll be in the atmosphere, and all this will probably be a little bit less visible. So let's see if we can do that, if we can. I don't know if that's a cloud or if that's hills. I think I just flew underwater. Oh, there's the shadows of the rings right there. There's some land right there in the sunset region. Ah, there we go. Much better view of everything. beautiful. And all these thousands and thousands and maybe even millions of stars in this globular cluster. Very cool. So let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion. Aiden Star asked if I could visit Hoag's object. I have a dedicated video on this, and I literally just visited it earlier in this episode, so I'm gonna go ahead and skip that. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, because I was literally in Hoag's object earlier. Hoag's object earlier. The next suggestions are from Andromeda, and he actually posted screenshots. Those aren't really necessary, by the way, but that's very cool that he actually did that. Let's go ahead and paste these in. Let's get rid of that extra space at the end. This is a worm Terra, it looks like. No life. And what is going on here? Okay, whatever you just put me in is absolutely destroying my frame rate. Oh, I know what this is. This is that same galaxy you suggested a while ago that has tons and tons of nebulas in it. Yeah, I remember this one. This one bogged down my PC the last time I was here. Okay, so we're in a tempered Terra. I can't really see much of what's going on with this Terra. There's no life on it or anything. Green atmosphere. And I'm concerned that this might actually crash my game. So, yeah. See, we have the parenting star over there. I don't think there's any snow on this planet, considering it is 70 degrees Celsius, a very, very warm world. And it does not look like we have volcanic activity. But let's just fly around a little bit, because it's been a while since I've actually been to this galaxy that you've shown me a while ago. It looks like we're inside one of the nebulas. Yeah, we certainly are. But, yes. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn down the star magnitude. For performance reasons. There we go, we're running a lot smoother. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn up the galactic, or the galaxy's magnitude. There we go. So, for people who have not been on my channel for a while, Andromeda has found this kind of marble in the game. I don't know if he's the one who found it or if he actually found it somewhere else. But this is very cool. This is an irregular galaxy, which all these nebulas are in a kind of disc shape. How many there are? I don't even know what would be able to cause this. It's just tons and tons. Like, these are planetary nebulas. These are not even like supernovas or anything. Okay, a lot of these are actually clusters too, but yeah, it's diffused planetary nebulas essentially. So what this essentially means is these are stars that have lost their outer shells, basically just blew up in such a way that it would cause a supernova, but something like our sun going into its final phase and turning into a white dwarf. So that makes me wonder, is there like a much higher density of white dwarfs possibly in this galaxy? I'm not really too sure. But nonetheless, this is a pretty crazy galaxy to visit. And if you want to visit it for yourself, the ID is right there. NGC 145. For some reason, there's just tons and tons of nebulas. Okay, let's go ahead and reset all my magnitude back to what it should be. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, once again from Andromeda. And let's go ahead and paste this in. There we go. And here we go. Not too far away. So we have... what's that? Terra. That looked familiar. Okay, so we have a kind of purplish desert, maybe? No, it's just got a bluish atmosphere. It's an orange desert with a blue atmosphere, giving it kind of like a slightly purplish look to it. Not really so much purple. And over there we have a orange dwarf. Reset our field of view. Oh, and it's got these big, lovely rings. Let's get over here because you can actually see the shadow being casted by the planet and actually get a idea of how big those rings actually are. Pretty cool. And we're in some type of galaxy. A small galaxy, but it looks very detailed and very beautiful actually. Let's go ahead and fly up over here. tons of stars actually sitting above the galaxy. Once again, probably because it's so small. It doesn't really need a high magnitude to actually view all the stars in the galaxy. Pretty cool effect. And there's a lot of spiral galaxies around here. But as you can see over there, fading over there in its lovely gold color, is Centaurus A, which is a very beautiful galaxy in the game with very, very dark interstellar dust. Very beautiful. From the outside, it's very bright, though. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which looks like it is from Kren Wenzel, I think that's how that's pronounced. Let's go ahead and check it out. It is a double planet, a desert and ice world orbiting far away from its parent star. Parent stars with an S. They orbit extremely close to each other, and that heats the planet up to around 1,000 degrees Celsius. Let's go ahead and check it out. It's always interesting to see planets in this game just heated up from tidal forces. Oh wow, look at that. Okay, so this is the ice world. For some reason, okay, no, it's 700 and... Did I just smack into the other planet? What's going on? Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn up the ambient lighting. Oh, wow. I think I did smack into the other planet. Oh yeah, that's definitely molten. Here's the ice world right here. There's the parenting stars very, very far away. Let's turn on that one thing that I had on earlier. There's A and B. It's not quite showing. I have to click it again, don't I? There we go. So we're 187 astronomical units away. That's every astronomical unit, if you guys don't know, is the distance between Earth and the Sun. Pluto orbits around 39, if I'm correct, astronomical units away from the Sun. So that's an idea of how far we actually are away from that star. Anyways, the temperature of the ice world, weirdly enough, it's hard to call it even an ice world, it's sitting at 735 degrees Celsius, so a very, very hot world to be having ice on it, I would say. And then over here we have a scorched desert, which is 852 degrees Celsius. These are incredibly hot worlds, hotter than Venus. Twice as hot as Venus. So, very interesting. It also has a very, very thick atmosphere as well, though. It's not just the tidal forces, but it's also got kind of a greenhouse effect. Actually, no, that doesn't really make too much sense. The greenhouse effect wouldn't matter too much if there's no actual sunlight actually hitting it, so interesting. Really nice suggestion. But let's go ahead and move on to the last suggestion, once again from the same person. It looks like I'm having the window run away again. I had this problem before. There we go. Okay, so let's go and move on to the next suggestion, which is once again from Kren Wenzel. I think that's how that's pronounced. Let's go ahead and paste it in. Okay, so I found a good Earth-like Terra in the same system. Here it is. It's not a typical blue terrain Terra. If you visit this Terra, make sure you land on the mountain regions. It has some pretty distinctive mountains that dominate the land's surface. Make sure you turn off clouds, because they cover a lot of the surface. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn off clouds. There we go. And could cover the continents. Okay, so we have a good view of the continents. I don't know if the ambient lighting's still turned on. No. Thankfully, we actually have some asteroid moons to light up the other side. As you can see, we have a bunch of white points here. Are these actually volcanoes? That's actually interesting. Look at that. These are volcanoes, but they're actually in like a grid array, kind of. It's a bit weird. Let's go ahead and touch down right over here in green life. Okay, so got some green life here blended in with sand. The temperature of this planet is -8 degrees. But the atmospheric pressure is a little bit low, so that might be causing some of this to actually boil, I guess. Over here we have some darker terrain. Is that also the life texture we have going on here? Ah yes, looks like we have some like mossy rocks and some roofed forest. But he said check out the mountainous region. Let's see if we can actually find that. Ah, there we go. So let's go ahead and touch down near the mountains. So there's apparently something very distinct about these. They're very contrast, I would say that, but they don't really look unusual in any way. Definitely very beautiful looking, very natural looking, in fact. And that would be due to the erosion effect. Because, well, mountains have a lot of erosion on our planet, obviously, because we are a water-filled world with tons of rain and other things to erode the mountains down. Unlike the desert worlds, which have much more jagged and coarse-looking mountains. Very cool nonetheless. Let's go ahead and turn on clouds, and there we go. And that makes for a very beautiful, very, very Earth-like view. So what was the ESI of this planet? Let's go ahead and zoom out and check that out again. It has an ESI of 91%, so really high ESI. Anyways, I think that is all the suggestions for this video. If you guys like the video, please leave it a like, and if you want to see more videos like this, please do subscribe, it really does help. And I'll see you guys in the next one.